All righty. Wow.
Really cool, Bob.
Yeah, very
Isn't
cool,
it?
Barb.
It was it was fun. It was fun. It took it took longer than it looks.
It looks really fun. Okay, December 22nd, December
Oh,
21st. Mark commented, these are fantastic pieces. They certainly are. Okay, and this we looked at. All right.
mhm.
So we'll start here with Debbie's time lapse.
One thing I have to ask you how to do is edit the video. If there's something I don't want on the video, I don't know
Yeah.
how to edit.
Okay. So for video editing, um, what I use is called CapCut, one
Mm-hmm.
word, CAPCUT. There's a
Mm-hmm.
free version that can do lots, more than enough. That's what I use. And yeah, it can also allow you to speed things up or slow things down.
So you have to
Okay.
edit it outside of Procreate.
Yeah, you export it as the time lapse
Right.
from Procreate, and then
Right.
you edit that time lapse video in CapCut or some other. Um, it's possible Adobe Express, which is also free, that they have it have video editing capabilities too. So that's a lot of fun seeing that transformation, Debbie.
Mm-hmm. Thank
Using the
you.
liquify.
Oh, I'm using a lot of things.
Yeah,
I try to think about 20 brushes.
fabulous. Well, the liquify is giving you your structure, right? It's giving you the
Mm-hmm.
architecture that you're then applying all these things to.
Right.
And yeah, you can see that there are tons of brushes in there.
I found this photograph in the home of the man who started the Nobel Peace Prize when I was in Norway. And I don't know, I loved it. So I had to do something with it.
Yeah, great idea. There is a there's a Flickr group where people post photos from the 1930s and earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Um, in fact, just while I think of it, I will open that up just so you can see it.
I love
And
vintage
therefore
photos.
search for it. What group is this in? Groups. This photo is in 110 groups. uh, so here's a group called Historic and Old Photos. It's not one I knew before. Passion for old photography. Unique vintage black and white photos. Let me, pre 1930s. There we are. Pre 1930 photos. So one of the things that's nice is if you belong to Flickr, you don't have to post anything, you just belong to it, and you join a group like this, you'll get notified when they post new photographs. And the range of things is really quite wide. Because, of course, people are submitting from all over the world and with different sources and interests. So there are, of course, lots of people. Look at that facial expression on her. That's great. Um, oh, stop it.
I used vintage photographs for my series on back in maybe when we started, when we were in person at Nielsen with circus, the
Yes.
circus theme. And I loved it.
Yeah. It is the images are wonderful. I just wanted to, there are other kinds of things. I quite like this. Uh,
I
Allison
love
really liked that.
it. Cute.
Isn't that awesome?
Mhm.
So, yeah, you can do photo research in this way. Join Flickr and find groups that feature vintage and antique. I think there are some groups for collage images, that kind of thing too. So yeah, it's a good resource.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, I actually I spent my time hunting down a bunch of images for you to play with, to which you can add, whatever. If you find one that you really like and you think of something else to add, you can do that. And I think I might share it to you because there are quite a lot of them in my Google Drive and send you a link so you can go to my Google Drive folder that has them and download them. That's a great way to
I
share
have to say, there's one
images.
issue I have now. I noticed somebody in our group did
Whoops,
writing.
sorry.
They did writing on their work. I think it was Helen. And
Yeah.
I keep trying to write anything, and it just does not hold my writing. It gets all wobbly, wonky. It can't. I don't know what to do.
Oh, in Procreate?
Yeah.
Yeah, so remember that I forget what it's called, but it's basically smoothing. You have to turn
Yes.
it off
Okay.
or set it really low
Okay.
because otherwise it's what it's going to do is sort of smooth out and average out. It doesn't know it's writing. It's stupid, right? So
Yeah.
it doesn't care whether it ends up looking like letters. It's taking your writing and kind of translating it into something that you don't want it
Okay.
to be.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right. Anne, look at that.
Yeah.
If Toulouse-Lautrec did contemporary street art posters.
Yeah. Cool.
I was looking at on the coffee table. There was a book on Toulouse-Lautrec, and I was just playing around with Photoshop. So I was just looking at it and thought, oh, some interesting images in there.
Yeah,
So I did a whole bunch of layers and drawings and things based on it and put them together. It was kind of fun to do.
fantastic. Yeah. And I love that you scratched into.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah, again, it was just trying out all the different brushes and stuff like that.
Excellent. It really
How did
has
you
a
do the
street edge.
text, Dan?
Pardon me?
How did you do the text?
The text probably I took a photograph of one of these. It was a little very small black and white one, and I just kind of like circled some of it. I just cut it out, cut and paste some of the stuff, a little bit of the text. Actually, it more of it showed up than I expected, and then it got lost, in the layers. Some of
Yeah,
it showed up, and some of it did, which was fine. I didn't want it particularly. I just wanted
Mm-hmm.
to suggest, you
yeah.
know. Mhm.
I love that it's we can read it. It disappears in places, but it has a lovely, like the ink bled and things are rough and it ends up being much more interesting than if it had been a
Washed
nice
out now, yeah.
big thing that you'd photographed and you got a really crisp image. It would have been too tidy, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because the whole idea was that it's the windmill, the Moulin Rouge, and drawing the windmill blades and
Okay.
the sparklers and that, and the kind of the whirling motion.
Okay. Cool.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, it definitely has a lot of energy to it. And I want to point out how she's working with silhouettes here a lot, right? The figure and the horse. Um, that is a very effective thing to do, in contrast to this more tonal spray paint effect. And
Well, Toulouse-Lautrec himself, he did used a lot of silhouettes
yeah,
or figures looking into,
yeah,
if you remember his stuff.
oh
And
yeah,
so, sort of using his style. Yeah.
yeah. And his, I mean, he was one of the premier poster designers,
Hmm.
artists,
Hmm.
because he was so masterful with things like that, right? Yeah, excellent. The figure's also lovely with the low contrast activity inside. That's
Mhm.
that's nice. Oh, very cool. Barb's Christmas card.
Yes, yes. So
A
that's this.
true artist.
So that's the same image that's in the other one that I posted. It's a lantern.
Okay.
Um, and on this one, I've turned it on its side. And I was playing with Distort, which we had talked about at the end of the last class.
Yes.
And that was what I was playing with here. And then
Pushing and pulling.
yeah, yeah, which was fun.
Yeah. And doing that same thing with what's in the background too.
Yes,
So it's all
yes.
wobbly, which is very nice. And this object is just dynamite to work with. You could make a whole series
I know.
based on this object.
I'm
Was it
I'm not sure where I saw it, but it was in a hotel or it was in a building and it
ah
was hanging.
right.
Um, yeah,
Yeah. Well, good for you for taking a shot of it, because yeah. So now, oh, and now we're another and piece. Played with textures and transform tools. Yes. Very textured. So I'm just going to zoom in on this texture here in the pink. And then this scratchy texture, scratchy marks that make a texture.
it,
And
it,
so what was the source for that texture that I'm seeing in the pink there, Anne?
So, you mean the original image?
Yeah, what
The original. Okay, fine. Do you want to move out a little? Go. Could you zoom out? Okay. That was
because it repeats.
this behind is a Venetian blind.
Right. That I
Okay, that you can
understand.
see.
Yeah.
This repeating one here. Yeah, that is a photograph of a fern
Really?
up super, 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 super close,
Hmm.
and then distorted, and then different colors. Now, I haven't done this for a while. I don't remember, Kim. It's December 27th.
Yeah, you
It's
don't
a
have to
month ago.
remember everything in detail, but it is interesting to talk
Mm,
about what the source is, because of course it's totally abstract, that
yes, yeah,
the effect that it has, but
yeah.
it comes from, it has a beautiful kind of balance of regularity and irregularity. And so that, I think, makes it very interesting to work with. as a something to
I
energize and a
yeah, I just
surface.
basically just pushed the images as far as I could to get different effects.
Great.
Just getting weird close-ups, distorting them. I think I used distortion quite a bit.
Right.
What else did I say? Yes, like textures and transform tools, um, and layering and modes, and it was just
And the
yeah.
result is very rich.
Yeah,
Mhm.
the figure's kind of crappy, but it doesn't matter.
The figure's on a layer. You can
Yeah,
swap it out for another
I could
figure that
swap
you
that
like
out. I get rid
better.
of that. I can get rid of that anytime. Put something
Um,
else there.
but I do think there's something nice about having asserting something that's graphic like that on top of this rich ground.
It has a glassy feel to it.
Mm,
If you were to print that on aluminum, how would that work?
it would look great. It would look great.
Yeah,
Hmm.
because it would have that shine that it's got to it.
Yeah, all those
Mm,
colors
yeah,
would turn into metallic versions of themselves.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Might look for a better image to go rather than
yeah.
yeah.
Well, do that.
Uh,
And you can always have a small print done on aluminum if you
yeah,
do,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
Uh, but I bet you like the effect.
Yes, yes.
It'll
Mhm.
make those colors.
Hmm.
Yeah. And then you can walk past it every day and watch the light change. Right. Well,
Mm,
thank you. That's great.
Yeah, it's
I want to
fine.
mention
thank you.
the directional effects of what's happened with the Venetian blinds. Here they look more or less the way they were in the photo, and here they've been distorted
Hmm.
and they look softer because there's a curve in them and so on, and that's kind of neat. And this right here has a ripple glass effect. I don't know if that was part of what you were thinking, but in this lower right corner, it's like looking at strong color objects
I
through
can't
ripple
see it because
glass.
all of your photographs are across the bottom. Is there some way I can put them on the side?
Yeah, just drag, click on the black band to the left or right of the photographs.
Okay.
Just click and drag the whole bar. Yeah, just click on a photograph and drag the whole bar over to the side.
Mm. No, I just got to. No, I just got to.
Here, I'll move it up. Whoops. Apparently, I won't. uh, okay. There, I've moved it
Okay.
up. Okay.
Participants
So
18.
this is what I'm talking about here.
Okay.
That
Yes.
looks
Right.
like you're looking through
Yeah.
rippled glass. Kind of like reeded glass, but less regular. So
I,
that's an interesting thought in terms of ways of creating depth. That's a different way of creating depth than I would normally think about, and maybe some of you.
I
Uh,
know I had difficulty with masking. I tried masking with that, and I had so many layers and had done so many things that I gave up.
right. So you know what? Something you can consider doing is taking a couple, two or three of your layers,
The layers,
putting them in
putting
a
masks
different
on.
document,
Yeah.
and then playing with masks with them, the ones that
Hmm.
you think you might be interested in
Yes.
masking, and finding something interesting, and then copying that back into the many layered document and seeing what
Hmm.
you can make of
Could
it,
do that.
right?
Hmm.
Yeah. Because I understand when you have a lot of layers, it starts getting unwieldy. Now, one of the things you can do is create groups, right?
Yes.
for
Yeah.
certain things, and that can really help in terms of just not getting overwhelmed by what you're looking at on in your window. So I'm glad you brought that up so that we could address it. And I think it made me laugh when I first saw it because it just surprised me, right?
Yeah.
It's quite extraordinary looking.
So that's
And
that same lantern.
yeah,
Um, and then I turned it, this is how it was, because you can see kind of the candle at the bottom.
yes, yes.
And then what I did was I cut out all those circles.
Excellent.
And then I started putting things in behind. And like Anne, I got kind of bogged down on trying to do it with layer masks,
Mhm.
Okay.
because it would have given me more control over
Yes.
them. Um, but I don't know. I got befuddled with it, and so I just placed them strategically.
Yeah,
Okay.
it looks great. Hmm.
Mhm.
Well, it's like you collaged it,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Uh,
Which it looks awesome. I
Hmm.
I don't want people to get hung up on layer mask just because sometimes that really is the solution you want because you want to be able to work back and forth into it, allow it to be in a state of flux as opposed to, well, it's either here or it's not here.
yeah.
Um, but very, very well done. Um, One of the things I like about the photograph is look at the bottom of this lantern. We're getting reflective surface. The lighting on the lantern is giving us a sense of the surface, whereas up here it's more silhouette-y. And that's a very nice effect for giving it volume. So you can fake that by painting that kind of lighting effect onto something if you want it to have that effect, right? That it actually,
Mm.
maybe everything else is set further back in space, like literally in space here. um, and then you want to increase that contrast, spatial contrast, the depth contrast, have it project forward in an illusionist way using painting. So it's brightest here and it gradually fades as it goes up. So yeah, these eyes and clocks, it definitely gets you thinking and wondering, right?
It was New Year's Eve, so that kind of was
Mm.
in my mind as well.
This is
The
the
clock,
old year.
the clock, yeah, the clock, and then the universe and just all the craziness.
Mm,
Yeah, just all of it, it seemed apropos.
yeah.
It was fun. I did do the video of it recently. I think yesterday I did the video. And the
Okay.
first time I didn't do it correctly. I pushed the wrong thing, and then
Right.
but it was easy to do it. It was
Yeah.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Would you mind sharing the video in the group?
Sure. Yeah,
That would
sure.
be really, I think it would be really fun to see it being born.
It goes by so fast because
It
this
does.
actually it took me a fair bit of time because I was learning like
Yeah.
everybody as I was going.
Yeah.
So I experimented with different eyes and different clocks and different, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
The eyes at the bottom,
Yeah.
Whistler's mother. That's the man in Whistler's mother.
I thought I recognized the face.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't know where from, but I knew I'd seen the face before.
yeah.
The
And the
lovely little
eye,
dancing figures are cool.
Yeah.
and the eye at the top
Yeah.
is, at the AGO, there's a silhouette. It's a sculpture kind of thing. It comes out from the wall. It's a face.
Oh, one of
And when you walk
Ron.
around it, it changes
Oh,
the whole your
maybe it's
perspective.
Evan Penny.
It's on the fifth floor, I think, and it's been there for quite a while. I can't remember the artist.
Yeah, that's the contemporary art floor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
you walk around it and it changes your perspective
yeah,
on it. Is the look of it changes? Yeah. So
yeah.
that's
So
from that.
cool. Evan
Yeah.
Penny is who I suspected is a Canadian artist, a Toronto artist, I think. Um, and he did a lot of sculptures of and and uh, almost photoshoppy but sculpture things of Murray, the model, and
Oh, right.
who
Yeah.
died not long ago, and I've seen at least one sculpture, large scale, hyper realistic sculpture of Murray at the AGO. I don't know if
But
it's still up,
this one
but
is about the size of the wall. It's huge. It's like the whole wall.
yeah, he
Yeah.
does some really, really big
Yeah.
things. When I went to my first artist residency in Alberta, we got taken to the home of two contemporary art, a couple who are contemporary art collectors in this, absolutely nondescript middle class neighborhood, little bungalow they lived in. You opened the doors and it's like, oh my god. So they kept their outside to blend in with the neighborhood, but wow. And one of the things was in their basement gallery, beautiful gallery. They had a whole figure of Murray. I don't know how tall it was, maybe about 2 feet tall, of Murray in bright blue, like a Yves Klein blue. And I was like, wait a minute, I recognize him. And that was by Evan Penny. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm here. I've got the book of Murray's. Here's if I don't when you off that page, I can hold up.
Yeah,
There's a picture of
I can stop sharing so we can
yeah.
look at that because I think that's the last one we have in the group anyway. So let's stop share and I will spotlight you. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And then there's a couple other ones in here. This one is of figures. They're very
Wow.
typical. You can tell they're Murray.
Yes.
Sorry, can you see?
Yeah.
And then there's one other one in here. This is from that show they had.
At Gallery 1313, was it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And this was the book. There's another one.
I should get a copy of this book if it's still available.
Yeah, I don't know if the guy made that many,
Right.
but anyways, I can share it so anybody who wants to see it. It's pretty neat.
Wow, thanks, Helen.
Hmm.
Yeah, he was a big loss.
Mhm.
Yeah, for sure.
I
Mhm.
yeah. Okay, I've got to get these things out of the way so I can get all my toys put away. Hmm. Okay, I that Anne. Why is my hair so? Anne working with silhouettes there, and that weird pod-like lantern that has a very silhouette-y effect. It sort of leads into what I was thinking would be interesting to start with and build from, which is to work with graphic things, including taking photographic things and making them graphic, but drawing graphic shapes and finding or making graphic patterns, and then bringing them together in artworks. Let's put that away. Let's put that away. And where's my share? Oh, there it is. So let's share. have too many images in this folder, but I'll just open them up and skim through some of them. I was thinking about printmaking and what printmaking, the effects printmaking can have that are, different from straight painting, even though they can involve painting. Warhol was, of course, famous for his portraits, but he also did a big series of animals. And astonishingly, of flowers.
Mm.
Now, this one, I'm not sure. That's in the style of. That's not him, but let's see. I think there is. Here's a photo of him in front of some of his animal series. And so he's taken, as he did with the portraits, he's taken photographs and turned them into strictly black and white, what's called line art. There are no midtones in it anymore. And so I'm going to show doing that. But, and then he's combined it with drawing. The drawing, of course, does not have to be so closely connected to the subject. It can just be another layer. But it does bring another energy to an image. Sorry, I'm just trying to find a larger example. There. You can see the line. And so when he's drawing this line, you see how the feathers are more developed than they are in the black and white. So he's looking at the original reference when he's drawing those feathers in, so that we regain some of the information that was lost in the translation from the full range photograph to this stark black and white. Now, it can also be really interesting to sorry, let me just see if I can find to bring in pattern, like with this. So again, that photograph's been treated. This case, I think it's a little using something called a mezzotint to create halftones, but this one isn't. But here's an example where they're using either full tonal illustrations that they've turned into grayscales or photography. I mean, you could do either. And bringing in graphic shapes. And this is called an overprint effect. So you see the two layers simultaneously. You see the black and the violet simultaneously, right? That's a simple two-color. Used to do a lot of graphic design that was two colors, black plus another color. But of course, it can be more complex. The overprint effect, I think, is one of the interesting things. And I found quite a few beautiful serigraphs or silkscreen prints that use this a lot, and also risograph prints use it a lot. But I mean, really, any printmaking can, just because it's one layer, one color laid over another. So what you get is color mixing, right? We have the orange, we have the magenta, and when they're mixed, you get the red. the cyan and magenta, and you get this blue violet, and so on. So, and this green. And that brings up all kinds of beautiful possibilities. Now, it can be something simple, or it can be more complex, like this. So, like the previous one, this is just shapes. They are using some gradients, but other than that, it's just shapes and layering them up so that they, using multiply as the layer blend mode, you end up with this overprint effect. Here's another example with a photograph. This one's been, um, there are dots that are like dither dots, so that there are grays, but we can forgive them that. and then they've made shapes and dropped in graphic patterns and photographic unrelated materials, and then this shape across the eyes. And what a beautiful, fascinating effect that's created. So it's collagey, but it's bold and unique. So here, down at the neck here, can you see that all right, Anne, or should I move that up? Where the neck is here, here's an overprint effect here, where this magenta-y color or rubine red color is layered over the blue, and this aqua is layered over the red dots, or the red dots are layered over the blue. I think the stripes are alternating orange and aqua. Yeah, and the black dots from the face have been transformed in color. Same with the dark of the hair. So some kind of special layer blend mode has happened there.
So Kim, on something like that, would that be on a special layer when it was blended together on and then combined?
Yeah, so probably the person, the portrait, will be copied out a number of times so that the mask shapes could be created for the layer masks. Wherever you see like this blue-green hair going into this pattern, that's one layer mask.
Right.
You see how it goes into part of the ear there?
Yes.
Splits the
Yes.
earlobe. So that's one shape, one layer mask.
Okay.
And so all the portrait is doing is serving as a reference for you to make the layer mask. And then it's another layer that provides the actual portrait information that you see in this area. So one layer that has the layer mask will have this pattern, and a layer, I'm going to say on top, but maybe it just depends, has this blue-green version of the portrait.
Okay.
Which can be achieved. You can either just change the color from black to this blue-green color, or using one of the adjustment layers, right? Or it could be they might have arrived at it through a layer blend mode, but I kind of think not, because black doesn't typically turn into something exciting. You need some color in it to begin with for it to turn into something exciting. Okay. So there's a two-layer effect going on within this shape. And each of those layers would have the same layer mask because it would have the same shape, right?
Right,
It's
right.
like a
Okay.
stencil,
Okay.
basically. And in that stencil, you can put a pattern or you can put a color, you know. So,
Yes. Yeah.
yeah. And it's really lovely the different materials they've put into the different areas. And, you know, playing with that. Some very simple patterns. And so one of the things I went and found were some patterns to play with, but you probably have some of your own already. Um, let's take a look at, here's another interesting overprint. So tightly spaced stripes crossing each other like that. We get this moire pattern, right?
Mm-hmm.
This crazy moire pattern. And I think that's actually kind of neat. I mean, it's an optical effect. And if it's actually, for example, I don't know how this piece was done, but if it's on two layers of material, then that moire pattern will change as you walk across it, right? Like if you were to print it onto acrylic,
Right. Yes.
right? It would change. The base layer could be on paper, but the top piece just separated by a little bit and on a transparent layer.
Because of the thickness. Or
Yeah, yeah,
right. Right.
yeah, is its offset. And so
Mm-hmm.
that's really
Cool.
interesting. I think Victor Vassarelli, that op
Mm-hmm.
artist, I think he used to do things like that. But you know, it doesn't have to be a piece of plexi. It can be a piece of acetate. You just have to be able to stand it off from the base amount, you
Mm-hmm.
know, using
Right.
magnets or something just to give it a little gap. Again, something that can be really fun to play with. Um, Here are some things including type. Such a bold effect, eh?
Mm-hmm.
This is fun. So this is a halftone style that uses lines instead of dots. And isn't it fun how they've alternated the directions? So they've used layer masks to, you know, they've got a version that's the black on red with the angle going this way. Well, sorry, I'm not sure. Do you see this backwards or no? This is the, I don't know. Anyway, and
It's
then
the
they
right
have the
way.
It's the
sorry.
right way. Yeah,
It's
it's the
the
right
right
Okay,
way.
way.
good, good.
And then the blue is going the
I'm
other way.
confused, but exactly. And then just very
Mm-hmm.
simple stripe layer masks. Very, very simple. And then very effective use of the type too.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a kind of crazy. I love this scale change. Doesn't that just hit you between the figure and the face? Um, Beautiful psychedelic background. Bleached the Black Bells. I guess that's a band. um, but there's another figure in here with a skull. Full head of hair, but a skull. Classic music stuff,
All right. Yeah.
right? And there's a little skull too. So one of the things I did, let's go back to Safari.
Kim, excuse me for
Yep.
interrupting. I will I be able to do? I guess I'll be able to do a fair bit of this on Procreate because I didn't bring my computer down,
Yes.
so
Yes.
I can't use
If
Photoshop.
you run into trouble with layer masks, by the way, I don't know if I managed to mention this at the end of last term, but I realized afterwards that when it acts up, when I'm doing layer masks in Procreate, I need to restart my iPad.
Oh,
I need to
okay.
at least restart Procreate, but I
Okay.
probably need to restart the iPad. It's just it starts acting weird and not doing what
Mhm.
it's supposed to do. That's a sign that your device is running out of memory.
Okay.
So, yeah. So we'll go through
So
that again some. So
when you turn that off, it
It resets,
it
does it?
clears
Does it resets?
all the stuff it's trying to juggle in its memory. It's like when we
right,
go to sleep at night, right?
right. Okay.
And then we wake up in the morning, and for at least a few beautiful moments, our mind is clear. Well, we're trying to orient ourselves, and yeah. So I'm just noticing that I thought it would be fun to show you that I've got the search bar open here, and vintage 1960s woman images. And I'm, of course, in DuckDuckGo. So I got it right. There, that's exciting. I'm always calling it DuckGoGo. um, Click on images. You can do this in Google as well. And you can find all kinds of fun. I mean, look at this, right? How classic is that? Takes me back to my childhood. There. Did you have a dress like that, Anne?
I did. I did. I was just thinking that it was mustard colored and it was
Yeah.
cut on the bias. It was fuller than
Ah,
that. Yeah. And it had sleeves. And it was a little bit longer than that, but not much.
not a lot, right?
A lot.
Yeah. Um, but there's some awesome images here on the interwebs that you could play with. And if you want that kind of vintage energy, I was recently did a search
Mhm.
for 1950s.
Had a coat just like that.
Right. That's a classic look for the time.
A
No.
collar, a little
Yeah,
collar.
yeah. So anyway, just looking at this image, I thought that's a good thing. So finding stuff that inspires you, I think, is important. Here, we've got a mixture of definitely illustrations. We've got overprint effect happening. It's just a two-color image here, but some of this material could well be photographic in origin.
Mhm. Cool. Like,
Hmm.
Yeah. So it is very interesting, isn't it, that um, there was a time when print was king in terms of the media,
Mhm.
and uh, and there was a whole sophistication about using and playfulness, and it was a great playground, playing with layered color that can only happen in print. When it was really unaffordable and technically very difficult to do full color printing. And so that's why old art books used to be full of black and white images. So I was shocked when I first saw Guernica and saw that it actually was black, white, and gray. So it's like, oh, I just thought that was my old art book. um, so yeah, there was a lot more of this, whereas now, because for color printing, they now have digital technologies that makes it very accessible, not necessarily as high quality, but very accessible, sometimes higher quality, I should add. Um, our visual language has lost track of the beauty of working with a set palette of colors. Here's a very simple but very effective. Look at that beautiful, it's like a scrolling banner, modernized using overprint. So this is a more sophisticated example. I actually bought cards done by this artist, Sigrid Kalon, when I was in the Netherlands. This has the overprint effect too. And then here are a couple of actual prints, traditional printmaking. Oh, where's the other one? Where did it go? I'm not sure. Oh, here. This isn't it, but overprint. Nice, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, figure artists. You'll like this. This is Rose Jaffe is the name of the artist here.
Like that.
This is,
Picasso-ish.
yeah, this is called See You, See Me. It's really, it has a real tenderness to it, doesn't it?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah. And here's an irreverent one for you. So we have a photo that's been well, it's an engraving, but I'll count it as a photo because photo engraving, right? And then a pure graphic, whimsical element layered over top that subverts the original image. So there we go. Oh,
Um,
there's the one I was looking for. So there's a gel plate print, right, showing
okay,
the
so,
overprints
okay.
and so
Kim,
on.
then
Yeah,
are you, you mentioned the photos and the earlier ones, the photos, you turn them into black and white line
yeah.
art. Are you going to give us
I
any idea
absolutely
how to
am, and
do that?
thank you for
Okay.
asking. Yes, absolutely. I'm going to launch Photoshop for this.
Can we do some, yeah, can it be done in
I
Procreate
believe
as
we
well?
can. Well,
Good.
it launched that quickly. I'll launch Procreate and I'll just double check. But I believe you have the same transformation ability in
Good.
Procreate. Okay, let's open up a photo. There we are. It helps to have a photograph that has some contrast, a decent amount of contrast. If it's too gray on gray on gray, the values are
Mhm.
too close together, it will be. Sometimes it can work if it just happens to be in the right spot, right? And of course, you can change
Boost the
the
contrast.
levels
Mhm.
to make it better, and then do what I'm going to do. Okay. Um, okay. So I'll go to layer adjustment layers so that it's reversible. Got my layer active and posterize lets you go to a few levels, right? But I'm going to go to threshold for the strictest version. So look at that.
Mhm.
So if I turn that off, turn it on. Now, you can see here threshold has a slider. So you can, depending on the photograph you're working with, you may need to open up the whites or you may need to increase the blacks. Okay, so As I slide to the right, the blacks are increasing. As I slide to the left, the whites are opening up. Okay? So, it's entirely up to you what you need for any given photo, what speaks to you, what you like. And it's so funny, these things remind me of that, if you oriented it vertically, of that texture you had in the background of your image.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, yes, and you can also, having done that, I don't know, let's see what happens if I, I've got the wrong layer. I don't have the layer active. There we go. Hello, Kim. Welcome back. Oh, that's wild. Okay. So if you want to cut out the image beforehand, then you'll want to just turn that off, the threshold off, D, for getting rid of the selection. And you can select subject. So you can see how it skipped this leaf, and it skipped the really blurry leaves. So I might add this leaf back in. Switch to the quick selection tool. Hold down Shift. Whoops. Hold down Option, get rid of that black. Right, so you can fine tune the object selection if that's what you would like, is just to have the plant, not the, oh, let's fill that in. Okay. Now, easy way if you're getting all confused with your layers is you can just hit delete. Oh no, you have to hit select inverse and then press the delete button. And there you go, right? But you can also, I'll undo that, you can also create a layer mask super easy. So I've made my selection, and now I go down to the Japanese flag with the layer selected, right, or active.
Mhm.
Go down to the Japanese flag. Look at that. It just makes that into a mask for me. Now, it happens to be the opposite of what I want. So what do?
But
Exactly. Image mode. Oh, image adjustments invert. Or Command I. Command or Control I in Windows. And there we are. We've got the transparent, and I can fine tune that if I want. I can delete some of it if I want. And then I can turn this back on. And so now I have just the plant that I can, select all and paste into something else. Let's... I'm going to copy merged and paste and resize it. You see how it goes off the page here. Now if I wanted to be able to size it up and down, do you remember what I could do to make that not lose the information? There's something I can do to this layer.
Making it a smart layer.
Very close. Smart object. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you were totally on the right track there. So Convert to smart object. Okay. So it doesn't do anything if you try to enlarge it. It doesn't help you if you try to enlarge it beyond its original size. But if you make it a smart object at its original size, then you can do this, work with your image, play around, and then you say, oh, I actually want to enlarge it. That's fine. It still holds all the original information. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah. And occasionally you'll run across something that won't something that doesn't work with smart objects. So you'll have to go back to that menu and on the layers, at the drop down menu, and you select rasterize layer. Okay, and that will, you see how this layer has a little weird thing in the corner here, a little page in a box. So that will disappear once it's, excuse me, rasterized.
And Procreate can't do this, can it?
Procreate can't do smart objects. And I don't think it can do select subject.
No, it can't. You'd have to, I think in Procreate, you'd have to do it by hand. You'd have to go around and
Yeah.
select the draw it, so do the selection and copy and paste.
Yeah. So I do want to let you know that as I will work towards learning Affinity Photo to see what it has that Photoshop has that Procreate doesn't, so that we can maybe make the transition to that, which is now free because
Oh,
Canva
okay.
bought it.
Oh,
And they've made the whole Affinity suite free. And it
okay.
is, from what I understand, the closest to the Adobe Creative Suite that there is.
Okay.
So, but in the meantime, there are real advantages to being able to go back and forth between Photoshop and Procreate, because there are things that Photoshop can just do really
That's right. Yes.
easily,
Hmm.
that Procreate doesn't have the capacity to
Exactly.
do.
Exactly.
But you can also, as Anne said, you can also hand paint out the background in Procreate, or erase it out or something. So that's a possibility. It's just more laborious, that's all. But it can be, you can also look at it as meditative. So if you have a time where you need to just like, family's driving you crazy, things have been a bit too much, whatever, that's a good time to be erasing out some backgrounds. um,
I don't think Procreate has a threshold. Well, it has a type of threshold, but I
well,
don't
I'm
know if you.
I'm
I
gonna
don't
go
know if
to
you can.
Procreate
Yeah.
right now,
Okay. I'm
and
asking you that because I've only got 9% left on my
yes.
plug in.
Oh, where's your power cable? Where?
Somebody forgot to bring it.
Oh my God! You have,
I
you
have
have to
one
get
that's.
one.
I have to get one real quick.
Yeah, seriously, eh? No, no, I'm fine. And you can't help Anne. She's in Florida. Kat wanted to help though. Okay, adjustments. Let's see here. What have we got? Halftone.
There is threshold, but it's different, isn't it?
Yes, there is a threshold. It does give
Put
you.
it on layers.
No, it's in the actions. It's in the.
Oh, actions.
Yeah, I think it's in
Okay,
the
I was
action.
in
Yeah.
adjustments.
No.
Okay, canvas. No.
No.
You get it by clicking on the canvas.
Tapping on the canvas.
Wow.
Nothing's coming up. Double tapping. No. I'll just do a quick search so that I can answer this. Where is threshold setting in Procreate?
Color drop feature.
Color drop feature.
Yes,
That's just for how fully
Yeah,
it
yeah.
fills the. Now, we could use that. Let me just try something. I'll change my color to something livid. Well, not livid. And color drop it on the black. Oh, didn't do it. Oh, come on. Yeah, it's definitely not the same.
No, it isn't.
Yeah,
No.
you use
So
it differently,
I don't
but
think there is a posterize.
That homeostasis lab there seems to be describing what you want. The next thing down on your search,
yeah.
Yeah.
he's talking about the black and white, or,
Whoops, quite large. Altering the contrast levels within an image.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, obviously I won't be able to demonstrate that today, but what I'll do is I'll send you a link to this article.
Okay.
So any of you who want to try this out in Procreate, and I will try and do it as well. And but for those of you who do have access to your computers, it's super easy in Photoshop, so you can get on with it in Photoshop if
Yeah.
if
Okay.
you're able to. Okay, and yeah. So I'd love you to. I'm as I said, I'm going to send you a link to a Google Drive folder where you can download images I've found for you. And what's nice about that is it means I can share higher res, bigger images, so you can do print quality, and lots more of them. But I'll also send you that link, and I'm thinking about 4 elements here, which I'll write down in the email that I sent after class. So we've got graphic, photographic, and even though we're turning the photographic into kind of graphic things,
Mhm.
it will feel different, right? And pattern and
Right.
texture. And texture, you can also use the threshold setting on to create effects. Let me just show you one more thing so that you can see. So I have that. I'm going to.
So Kim, for instance, with the plant that you just showed us,
Yep.
so you would select the plant would be the photographic
Yep.
turned into the kind of the graphic,
Yep.
and then you could put like maybe just copy the shape of one leaf and turn that into a different pattern or put another pattern on top of it.
Yep. And I will include some pattern resources as well,
Okay.
like because you
Okay.
could work with something very simple
Right.
like stripes, or you could work with
Right.
something that you come up with entirely on your own.
Mhm.
That's up
Mhm.
to you. Even with the stripes, you can think about using liquify or other distorting methods to, make some of those lovely wobbly things that we saw.
Mhm.
Where's the share? There's the share. I'm going to share again.
Yes, we could always Google black and white line art.
Yes, you could totally do that, but especially because you only have Procreate. Yeah,
That's right. Yeah. I mean, I would normally
yeah,
do the other,
yeah,
but in this,
exactly.
if I wanted to do that, okay.
So I'm going to use threshold threshold on this one as well. And it's just almond shells, quite an interesting texture. And, you can decide how you want it to be. Now, I'm going to activate the almond shells, and I'm going to go to hue saturation, colorize. Okay, and this is how we are in RGB. Okay. Put hue saturation above. Make sure hue saturation is above threshold. If threshold is above, it will universally apply it. And so things
Okay.
can only be black and white. So it's good that I am demonstrating this. If you put hue saturation above it, look at how this is now a one color image. What was black is now whatever hue I have it at right now. There. Okay, and then I'm going to unlock the background and add a layer. And I'm going to put that layer underneath. And I'm going to give that layer a color. Let's give it a... Okay, now, not seeing anything because, of course, I need a layer blend of multiply. Oh, threshold. Let's make sure let's make sure we only have threshold working on the color, the green color, only working on the almonds. There we go. You see that there? So I held down Option or Alt in Windows and clicked on the border between this and that to make this affect only layer 0, only the almonds. And same thing with this threshold one, only the almonds. Because if it's not, it's a clipping mask is what that's called, but that's not helpful. What's helpful to know is that if I haven't done that, it will affect the color fill layer as well. And so you won't get the color because it's black and white and it's green and, so, so this sequence right here, I have a base color, I have my texture or photographic image or whatever, and then I have threshold underneath the colorizing layer for the texture or photograph. That's kind of the way it has to go. Now, the question is, right now, what we have is the pure green and the yellow. But what happens if I... Oh, no, it is on multiply. It is on multiply. So it should be working. I'm just going to double check because sometimes color fill behaves differently. There, I've turned off the color fill layer and I'm just going to select all on layer 1 and I'm going to fill it with a color. Look at a different color. and it's on multiply. So yeah, you can see that the green has been affected by the blue that's underneath, right?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So it's blending because of that,
Right.
because it's on multiply. And if I, instead of filling that whole layer, let's make this smaller. Make sure I have the right layer active. Delete. And then I'll do one more thing. I will create a new layer on top here. You can see it's on top. And I'm going to choose a, oh, that's a good color. Oh, let's make it hard. And make sure that it's also opaque. Yeah, I don't have it on opaque, but you know, transparency can be its own charming thing, but I specifically want to show something opaque. So that I can switch to multiply. Wow, look at that.
Mm.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
And so play like this, you know, pick some elements, try things out, try thresholding, try colorizing, draw some wacky shapes, bring in some pattern or texture, like just play and see what happens. Like I didn't sit and think about it, so I didn't think, oh yeah, this is how it would turn out. It's just fun to be in the midst of doing it and go, oh yeah, right, look at that, you know, and just see what happens. So yeah, graphic, photographic, and graphic, you know, shape is the most important thing there, and pattern and texture.
Mm.
Great. Gone a little over time, but that's appropriate. It had quite a long intro. Any questions?
For the overprint,
Yeah.
you just play with the transparency of the color, right?
Multiply layer blend will give
Multiply
you
and
the
layer blend. Okay.
overprint effect. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, that said, you can also play with the transparency or opacity of
Right.
your layers to get different effects, right? So, and for the advanced users who like to throw in some gradients, or the not advanced users who like to throw in some gradients, gradients can be a way to play with that too, right?
Mm.
Yeah. So, yeah. So I'm off to Humber College on Thursday. The In Situ Festival is coming up in March, and I'm an outreach artist helping the Humber College students out with a special project for In Situ. And Friday, I'm giving a presentation to 2 classes at my old high school, UTS.
Wow, busy.
To the art students. Yeah, it's a bit of a nutty week.
They
But
have.
what is fantastic is that my capacity, while not quite matching what I have on my plate, is able to do
That's
this.
great.
Great.
Like I really,
That's good.
yeah, yeah. The difference is astonishing. I've just had so many years now of only having a fraction of this capacity. So
Excellent.
it's nice to share it with you.
Must have been all those sandwiches you ate in Korea.
All those sandwiches. Yeah. Have I told you how great an invention sandwiches are? Oh, so go enjoy your sandwiches. And yeah, expect lots of goodies in the next couple of days, and
Good.
Okay.
Okay.
play. I can't wait to see what you come up with. Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay,
All right.
I got 2% left.
All right. Perfect
2% left.
timing. Perfect timing. Okay.
Kim, I
Thanks,
also
Kim.
wondered, I forgot how much, because
Oh, I
sent you
haven't
any money.
sent that out even. Like,
Oh,
this is
okay.
how
Okay.
completely disorganized I am. So
Okay.
I
All right.
apologize. I will get that to you as well. I just have to look up the last time I sent out him an email with the
Okay.
cost,
Yeah.
and then.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank
All
Bye-bye.
you.
right. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye,
Take
everybody.
care.
See ya.